This is a little awkward. I don't even think it's gonna fit on the screen. And we got that 2600 to 6000 Kelvin, got that bicolor versatility. In this video, we're gonna be talking about one of my favorite lights, the Hudson Spider Redback. This isn't a review, it's more of like my impressions for the past couple of years. And the reason why I'm making this is because a number of people in that time have messaged me on social media or have asked me about it in real life. How is the Hudson Spider? Like, I'm thinking about getting it, but I'm not really sure. I haven't really been able to test it. So I just wanted to answer some of those questions out here for some of you who might be curious about the whole thing and what it's like on a day-to-day basis. So before we get any further, I just want to show you guys some examples because I really think that when people are asking how it is, they're really asking what are the results that you're getting from it. So let's take a look at some of these examples. So this first example right here, I used this in the configuration with the 7-foot silver umbrella. It was bounced in there. And you can just see it's just like a really interesting, it's soft, but it's also, it just gives an illumination to the skin that's like really, really nice. I also had like a silver bounce underneath. So I think like, for this particular look where you're getting that glow of that beauty light, it's just an amazing, amazing tool. And it's just like, it's so big that it makes it really soft as well. So I really love this particular look. And when I have the opportunity to do this setup, I like to go with the silver umbrella. It's not for everything, but I found that it's a really nice look. So for this particular shoot, the client and director were looking for more of a soft studio look. And this is actually something that I go to quite a bit, where it's more of like a beauty look, where like there's very little shadow. The ratios are very, very small in terms of like light to shadow darkness. And then the shadow falls off really smoothly. I just had it fanned out to the full spread on the Redback at full power through a thick diffusion. And the thing with the Hudson Spider going through a thick diffusion, I just found that it's just like there's a little bit of a quality there. It might not be super noticeable to the average person watching it who doesn't really look for these things, but for me, I noticed a difference between this and, say, if you were to use like a point source and put it through like a softbox. It's just ever so slightly softer. And I really like this quality, and some people that I work with have really come to like this as well. And this still right here is from a short film that's currently going through the festival rounds. This was the Hudson Spider in a softbox through, I think it was like either a half or a quarter grid. And we were looking for a deeper shadow here with a harder light. Now, you can pretty much do this with most lights. Like if you just put a different diffusion or a different modifier on it, you're gonna get a different result. You can get something very similar to what I showed you, but what I found just kind of through the years of testing out different lights, there's just a little bit something softer and this punchy but softer at the same time with the Hudson Spider. And I don't know if it's because of the size it is, as well as like the softness and the quality of the LED diodes and just like the way it's spread out. But I just really like the quality coming out of it. It's a very subtle thing. So for me, someone who's like looking out for these things, it's totally worth it for me. I love the quality that I get from this light, which is why I bring it to most of my shoots, I would say. Let's talk about practicality of this light. Like where can you use this light? Well, I've used it on a range of shoots, primarily commercial. So that's like fashion and beauty, shooting a lot of like faces, to interviews, shooting, again, more faces and things of that nature. I've also used it as like a hair light. I've also used it as a edge light. So it's pretty versatile, just depending on what you're trying to do with it. So when the question, is it worth it, gets posed to me, I personally preface it with, yes, it is for me because of the types of shoots I do. But then, when I really think about it, I do all sorts of shoots. It's, again, ranging from like beauty and fashion to interviews to like narrative films. It's just been on every single shoot with me. So of course, yes, for me, it's been worth it. As an owner operator, I think from a business perspective, if we're talking about, is it worth the amount of money that you're spending? Because it is a sizable investment. I think a full kit, the Redback kit, the large one, is like around 7,300 USD. However, the thing is that the quality is so high and the versatility is so high that it can serve multiple purposes. So you can bring it on almost every shoot. And what that's going to do is that allows you to rent it out more often and use it more often, and therefore make the return on the investment much quicker. So they make two versions, the large version, which is the Redback, which I have here, and they also make the Mozzie. But the reason why I got the larger one is because I always need as much output as possible. That's just the type of work that I do. I have been thinking about getting a smaller one just because I am in New York City. Like space comes at a premium. So if it's an office space, if it's an apartment, anything like that, where you don't have as much room to spread out as you want to, this thing sometimes is a little too big for the room that I'm in, for the types of rooms that I'm shooting in. So I think that's one reason I would jump and get the second one. Oh, and one other thing I want to mention is that customer service is amazing. And I think that is worth a lot in and of itself. because I've had a number of times where I've needed an extra accessory or modifier for this thing, and they've been so responsive, they send it out immediately. All right, so that is my impression of the Hudson Spider after owning and using it for the past couple of years. Again, super versatile, light quality is amazing, the customer service is outstanding. And yeah, if you have any other questions, post them below and I will try to answer them if I can. All right, guys, until then, I will see you in the next video. Peace.